The predator blocked her strike with unnerving ease, their strength like iron. They countered with a swift movement, knocking the poker from her hands. Samantha stumbled backward, but she wasn't about to give up. She grabbed a rock from the ground, heaving it toward the predator. It hit them squarely in the chest, but they didn't flinch. Samantha wasn't sure how much more she could take, but she had to keep fighting. There was no other choice. The predator moved in, their hands reaching for her throat. She could feel the pressure, but she refused to succumb to the panic that threatened to rise. The grip on her throat tightened, and for a moment, everything went dark around her. Panic surged through her veins, but Samantha fought it with every ounce of strength she had left. She had been trained for situations like this, survival instincts ingrained in her from years of childhood lessons with her father. She had to trust her body, trust her training. Her legs buckled as the figure's fingers pressed into her windpipe, but she refused to collapse. She twisted her body, wriggling beneath the predator's hold, gasping for air. She could feel the pressure building, but she knew if she gave in, it would be over. With a burst of energy, she brought her knee up, driving it into the predator's midsection. The force of the blow made the figure stagger back, loosening their grip just enough for Samantha to break free. She gasped in a breath of air, lungs burning, but there was no time to relax. The predator was regaining their footing, and they were angrier than before. Her eyes darted around for something to defend herself with. The forest was her only ally now. It wasn't just about physical strength anymore, it was about survival. She grabbed a jagged branch lying on the ground, her fingers wrapping tightly around it. The rough edges dug into her skin, but she didn't care. It was her only weapon. The predator sneered at her, stepping forward with deadly intent. They were fast, so much faster than her. But Samantha wasn't going to be intimidated. She held the branch tightly, using it as both a shield and a weapon. If she had to, she would fight to the very end. "You're not leaving here," the predator growled. But Samantha had one thing on her side, she knew the forest better than anyone. She had lived here. The predator, though skilled, didn't have the same knowledge. Samantha used that to her advantage. She let the predator get close, baiting them. As they lunged for her, she ducked low, using their momentum to her advantage. She swung the branch with all her might, landing a solid hit across the predator's face. They stumbled back, momentarily dazed, and Samantha seized the opportunity. She sprinted to the nearest tree, using the bark as leverage to climb higher. The predator cursed from below, realizing what had happened. Samantha's heart pounded in her chest as she scrambled higher into the branches. The trees swayed under her weight, but she knew she couldn't stop moving. She had to keep her distance until she found an escape route. From her elevated position, she could see the predator pacing below. They were searching for her, scanning the area with keen eyes, but Samantha knew she had the upper hand for now. Her breath was still labored, her muscles aching, but she refused to let fatigue take hold. This wasn't the time to slow down. Minutes felt like hours as she waited, watching the predator below, waiting for an opening. Finally, she saw it. The predator's attention was diverted just for a split second, enough time for her to make her move. Samantha leaped from the tree, landing on the ground with a roll that absorbed the impact. She barely had time to get to her feet before she was running again, this time with purpose. She was done playing games. It was time to end this. The forest blurred around her as she sprinted through the thick underbrush, the predator not far behind. Samantha's legs burned with exertion, but she had a plan now, a plan to finally get away. She reached a clearing, a small ridge overlooking a ravine that she had known as a child. It was a treacherous drop, but there was a narrow bridge further down, a bridge that could lead her to safety. It was a risky move, but it was the only chance she had left. The predator was closing in, the sound of their footsteps echoing in her ears. Samantha didn't hesitate. She dashed toward the ravine, leaping across the gap with a jump that took every ounce of energy she had. Her feet barely touched the opposite ledge, but she landed safely. The predator reached the ravine moments later, but by then, Samantha was already running toward the bridge. She could hear the predator's heavy breathing, but it was too late. She had outsmarted them. With each step toward the bridge, her hope grew. It was her escape route, her ticket to freedom. She crossed it swiftly, not looking back. She didn't need to. By the time the predator reached the bridge, Samantha had already disappeared into the thick woods beyond. She knew that she had won. She had survived. The predator was still out there, but they weren't her problem anymore. Samantha found her way back to civilization the next day, weak but alive. The authorities were there to meet her, their eyes wide with disbelief as she recounted the terrifying ordeal. But for Samantha, it was over. She had faced the predator head-on, and she had emerged victorious. Her heart still raced, but she could feel the weight lifting off her shoulders. She was alive. She had escaped the nightmare. And no matter what came next, she knew she would never again be the same person who had entered that forest days ago. She had faced the wilderness and won. And that victory would stay with her forever. Thank you for joining me on this heart-stopping journey through the forest. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more thrilling tales like this one. And be sure to check out the other videos on the screen now for more gripping adventures. Stay tuned, and stay safe out there.